Greetings and peace. I hope you and yours are doing well today, wherever you might be watching this from. Now, the topic for today that I would like to cover is the spiritual and Masonic significance of the Holy Kaaba in the East, in the holy city of Mecca. Now, the Kaaba basically is that perfect ashlar stone, and a Muslim or one who's a believer has to become a part of that being. And that perfect ashlar stone, inside of it you will have the pillars and the altar, because that's your promise to yourself and to God that you will become better in this life and all that you do in your quest to help mankind, help yourself, and help your family. And when you go there, that's one of the main pillars of Islam, is to travel, be a traveling man. You make the effort to not just to travel to Mecca, but travel to all of the holy sites of the world and go see all of the saints, the Sufi saints, and pay your respects to them. So the pilgrimage, when you go there, it's about you becoming that perfect being, and how when you get there, you meet all of your brothers and sisters there on the level, where when you're wearing the white cloth, that strips you of any identity you must have had in this world. It doesn't matter how rich you were, what property you owned, what degrees or titles you had. None of that really means anything. It's about who I am, what I stand for, and what I need to do. And the Kaaba, you basically become the Kaaba when you go there. And by becoming that, you basically adopt those fundamental principles from the ancient Egyptian method, where they had the Ka, which was the soul, the Ba, which was a part of the soul, which was able to go around and travel around, basically in the dream-like realms, and the Ak, which is basically one who transmutes both of those in the alchemical designs and becomes a perfect being. And that was only for the select few, and that's why even in the Islamic world we call each other Aki. Hey Ak, how you doing? Assalamu alaikum. Aki, Ak. So to become that Ak and to infuse the Ka and the Ba, which are the aspects of your soul, the Kaaba, and the perfect ashlar stone that the Kaaba represents, you have to basically transmute yourself with the 787 and the alchemy of the becoming from man into the divine. And a lot of the Sufi lodges, even before Freemasonry existed, they had the numbers 787 written outside of their lodges. And if you look at the Arabic numbers 787, it's the square in the compass, and which means Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. So that's basically telling you that in this short time that you've been given on this world, when you basically heal your soul and make the right decisions and do right by all, then you basically become that perfect ashlar stone, and you become the Kaaba in a way, because that's what your soul really represents, in relative to what the Sufi Islamic teachings are and what the aspects of the ancient Egyptian teachings are. It's one and the same, and it's about you making sure that you're making the right decisions. You're not falling into these fear-based mind control traps that are out here for the public, where they're being divided by race, religion, you, me, us, them. So those kind of things are not for us, and you don't fall into those traps if you want to become that perfect ashlar. And the thing is that for the Ka, for your Ka to be at peace, and for your Ba, and to transmute and to become the Ak, you have to make sure that you're doing in your life what you feel is right. You have to listen to your heart, and you always have to choose love, not fear, because the agents of chaos that exist in all races, religions, and creeds, they don't want you to find out who you are. They don't want you to know what your power is, because they don't want to keep your mind still. They always want to put one thing after another in your mind. Okay, this happened, that happened, this happened, now something else is happening, now this person's releasing a book, now this is happening. So all of that is just to keep your mind preoccupied. It's not meant to give you any kind of peace. You got to give that peace to yourself, especially in a system where giving you peace is not an option, where it's always one bill after another or one thing after another. You got to create that time for yourself to give that peace to your Ka and your Ba, and become more spiritually aligned in your thinking, in your doing, in your knowing, staying away from drugs and alcohol, staying away from any company that's not benefiting you in any way, staying away from anything that does not benefit your growth, staying away from any people's, places, or things that are not aiding you in your spiritual journey and are not challenging you, or in reverse are draining you. So you have to infuse that ka and the ba, and honor your ka and the ba to become the Kaaba, and to make sure that you end up reaching that state of the Ak. How you have the the 3 stages of Masonry, you have the 3 stages of the soul as well, with the Ka and the Ba and the Ak. So you have to make sure you do that while you're here in this lifetime, because that will be to your benefit. Because if you don't, then that would be a life wasted. It doesn't matter if you have a PhD or you have a nice house, car, big bank account. That's only for here. That's not for what's coming after this. So in order to become that, you always got to stay in a frequency of love and not fear. Like how when we go to Mecca, we're always making sure that we meet each other on the level. And that's what changed Malcolm X too when he went there. That nobody cared what your race is, who you are, what's it about. Everyone meets there perfectly, and they wear the white cloth, which is the ihram, or if you spell it out phonetically, it's Hiram, and that's what you become, is Hiram. You become that being, and it's about you becoming and reaching that state of divinity, where you have a mineral that goes to a plant, plant goes to an animal, animal goes to man, man goes to angel, and angel goes back to the divine. So when somebody passes away, we say that to God we belong and to Him we shall return. So that's what it's truly about. It's about not falling into these traps that this world has for us, by making us fall into different divisions, or making us draw lines or lose family and friendships. You gotta be careful with all of these traps that are out here, and follow the principles of the Ka and the Ba, become the Kaaba, and become that perfect ashlar stone of the Kaaba, and meet all your brothers and sisters on the level. Don't think that you're superior against anybody, because nobody's above one another or beneath one another. And that was one of the messages of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in Mecca at his last sermon, where he says that a black has no superiority over a white has no superiority over a black, except by piety and good action. So exemplify your good actions, and make sure that that access to the divine exists within you. And if you can unlock that experience within yourself, then there's nobody in this world that can control you, or have any kind of spiritual power over you. It's you. You're the one that's gonna walk that bridge alone once your life is over. So you have to make sure that you get yourself to that level mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, by being a high vibrational being on this world. And you will be transformed, and you will have a good future ahead of you. So stay blessed, and my prayers are always with you, and yours always. Take care.